All right, everyone get ready because today we are going deep into the world of AI and memes.
AI memes.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff.
I know. You sent over this video all about how to use AI to make memes. And
Pretty wild, right?
it is pretty wild. I mean, think about it. Just a few years ago, this would have sounded like,
Total science fiction.
I know, like something straight out of a movie.
And the creator of the video actually said that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were originally going to try and...
What were they going to do?
They wanted to make a whole movie using AI.
A whole movie. Whoa.
But for this experiment, they decided to scale things back a little bit and just focus on...
Memes, way more our speed.
Right. Exactly.
So what I thought was really interesting is that even with all of this incredible AI technology, the creators still said that
What did they say?
they had trouble coming up with new meme ideas.
Ah, the classic creator's block.
Yeah. It's like they had all the tools, but they still needed that spark of inspiration.
Of course. We've all been there. Everyone gets stuck sometimes.
Exactly. So they turned to ChatGPT to try and get some ideas.
What did ChatGPT come up with?
ChatGPT suggests a meme with a robot staring blankly at a cup of coffee,
Oh, interesting.
with the caption, "When AI still doesn't understand the human need for caffeine."
You know, it is funny because it does kind of feel like AI.
It's like it gets the structure of a joke, but not really the
Nuance?
the nuance.
Like, why is that actually funny to a human?
Exactly. So for this meme, instead of having AI generate an image, the creator actually filmed themselves pretending to be the robot.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they took that footage and put it into this tool called Runway.
Oh, Runway?
Have you heard of Runway?
Yeah, Runway's incredible. It lets you apply all sorts of amazing visual effects and filters to videos.
So they used it to give the video this really cool futuristic and holographic look.
Oh, very cool.
It's really well done. And what I also love is that they even make fun of their own acting skills in the video.
Oh, that's great.
It's a good reminder that even with all of this technology, you don't have to take yourself too seriously, and there's still a...
Very human element to all of it.
Yeah, that human element is still there for sure.
You can't get rid of it.
So we've seen how they use AI to make a video meme, but then they also experiment with making static image memes using Midjourney.
A Midjourney.
So this is another really cool tool.
It is, and it basically lets you generate images from text prompts, which is just incredible.
That's insane. So for this experiment, they take a selfie and then they use Midjourney to create these futuristic versions of themselves.
Oh, wow.
Like almost.
Like from the future.
Yeah. And they even use the term Lannister-esque.
Oh, Lannister-esque.
Like from Game of Thrones.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's so cool how these tools can tap into those existing pop culture references.
It's like having this huge database of images and artistic styles you can just blend and remix however you want.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So we've got Runway for video memes, Midjourney for images, and then they show one more tool that's called supermeme.ai.
Supermeme.ai. Interesting.
And this one seems to be all about making memes quickly.
So it's like instant meme generation.
Yeah. You just type in some text and then boom.
Boom. There's your meme.
You got all these meme options ready to go.
So fast. It does make you wonder, though.
What's on your mind?
Well, as cool as it is to make memes instantly, I do wonder if everyone is using the same tools and algorithms to generate memes.
Yeah.
Will that lead to less originality in the memes we see?
That's a really good point. Like, will it all start to look the same?
Exactly. Could this lead to like a homogenization of humor?
Hadn't thought about that, but it's an important question for sure.
Definitely something to think about. It's a really important question. And it makes me think about...
What's on your mind?
Well, it makes me think about music.
Music.
Yeah. Remember back in the day when you needed an entire recording studio?
A whole studio.
To make music?
Yeah. With all the fancy equipment and all that.
All the expensive gear.
But then software came along.
Exactly. Like GarageBand. And now
anyone can make music on their computer.
it's incredible.
But there was definitely a debate back then.
Oh, yeah.
Some people were worried that it would lead to lower quality music.
Oh, interesting.
They thought that if anyone could make music, then no one would take the time to learn the craft and become a real musician.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that before.
But it's interesting, right? Like, it's the same kind of debate we're having now with AI and memes.
Like, will it make things better or worse?
Exactly. Will these tools lead to more creativity or less? Only time will tell, I guess.
For now, let's bring it back to Midjourney.
Okay, back to Midjourney.
Yeah, I'm really curious about how it actually works.
So Midjourney uses something called a generative adversarial network, or a JAM for short.
A Jan.
Okay.
It sounds complicated,
It's
but
good.
it's actually pretty straightforward.
Okay, lay it on me.
So you have two AI algorithms,
Two algorithms, sorry.
and they're working together,
Uh,
but they're kind of working against each other at the same time.
what? So they're cooperating and competing. How does that work?
It's like this one algorithm is trying to create images.
So it's like an AI artist.
Exactly. And then the other algorithm is trying to figure out if those images are real or fake.
So it's like an art critic.
I like that.
That's
It's like an
good.
art critic AI.
And so how does this make images?
So the first algorithm, the artist, creates an image, and then the second algorithm, the critic, looks at it and says, I think this is fake. And then the first algorithm takes that feedback and tries to make a better image, one that will fool the critic.
So they just keep going back and forth like this?
Exactly. And through this process, the AI learns to create incredibly realistic and complex images.
That is so cool. But how does it know what kind of image to make?
That's where the text prompts come in.
The text prompt.
Yeah. Remember how we talked about how you can type in a description and Midjourney will create an image based on that description?
Oh, yeah, right.
So the AI uses those text prompts to guide the image creation process.
So it's like you're giving the AI instructions on what to paint.
Exactly.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder about the creator in that video.
What about them?
Well, they were using ChatGPT to get meme ideas.
Right.
And it made me think, could using AI like that for brainstorming actually make us less creative in the long run?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, if we always rely on AI to give us ideas, will we forget how to come up with our own?
I see what you mean.
Like, it's a tool, but could it become a crutch?
Yeah, that's a possibility for sure. It's kind of that thing we were talking about with the music software.
Right.
If you always use a calculator, you might forget how to do math in your head.
Yeah, exactly. So how do we use these tools in a way that actually helps us be more creative, not less?
That is the question, isn't
It is.
I think it's about finding a balance. Using AI as a starting point to spark new ideas, but not relying on it to do all the heavy lifting.
Like using it for inspiration, but still letting our own imaginations run wild.
Exactly. It's about using AI to enhance our creativity, not replace it.
That's a great way to put it. But, it's not just about individual creativity, right?
What do you mean?
Well, you mentioned earlier that AI could democratize meme creation.
Oh, yeah?
Like making it so anyone can create memes, even if they don't have any fancy design skills.
Absolutely. These tools are really lowering the barrier to entry for content creation.
It's so cool because it means that anyone can share their ideas and their humor with the world.
Exactly. And it opens up the possibility for so many new voices and perspectives.
That is really exciting. But it also makes me wonder,
What do you wonder?
well, if everyone is using the same AI tools to make memes, will all memes start to look and feel the same?
Oh, that's a fascinating question. Like, could we see a decline in the diversity and originality of memes?
Yeah, will it all just become one big homogeneous blob of AI-generated humor?
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
It's like, will AI memes ultimately make meme culture more interesting or more boring?
That's a tough one.
I think it's too early to say for sure, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Like we're at a crossroads right now.
We are. And the decisions we make now about how we use these tools will shape the future of meme culture.
Okay, so we've talked about how AI can help us come up with ideas and how it can help us create memes.
Right.
But there's one more thing that I wanted to touch on.
What's that?
Well, in the video, the creator mentioned that they also used AI for things like brainstorming video concepts and writing scripts.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like AI is becoming more and more integrated into the entire creative process, not just the final output.
Yeah. It's like having an AI assistant to help you with all of your creative endeavor.
I know. I can imagine bouncing ideas off an AI and getting feedback and suggestions based on a massive database of knowledge.
Whoa, that would be amazing.
Right. It's like having access to a super-powered brainstorming partner.
So cool. But, it also makes me wonder about the potential downsides.
What do you mean?
Well, how do we make sure that AI doesn't perpetuate harmful biases?
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Like, if we're using AI to write scripts, will those scripts reflect the diversity of human experiences, or will they just reinforce existing stereotypes?
That's a critical question. We need to be really careful about the data that we're feeding into these AI systems.
It's like garbage in, garbage out, right?
Exactly. And we need to be mindful of the potential for unintended consequences.
Like, We don't want to create AI that amplifies harmful stereotypes or perpetuates discrimination.
Absolutely not. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges we face as we develop these technologies.
It's like we need to make sure that AI is used for good, not for evil.
I completely agree. And it's going to require a lot of thought and careful consideration.
And it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the people who are creating and using it.
Right. We need to have diverse voices and perspectives involved in the development of AI.
Otherwise, we risk creating AI that reflects the biases of a small and homogeneous group of people.
That's a great point. We need to make sure that AI is inclusive and representative of the full spectrum of human experiences.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits and the potential risks of using AI for creativity.
It's a complex issue.
It is,
Yeah,
and it's one that we're only just beginning to grapple with.
exactly. As AI continues to evolve, it's going to raise all sorts of new questions and challenges.
And it's going to be up to all of us to figure out how to navigate this brave new world.
And to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
Well said. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
From the nuts and bolts of how Midjourney works to the ethical implications of using AI for creative endeavors.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It really has. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I wanted to bring up one more thing that the creator mentioned in the video.
What's that?
Well, they talked about how they used their own selfie as the source material for those Midjourney memes.
Oh,
And it got me thinking about identity and self-expression in an AI-driven world.
oh, that is interesting.
Like, how does AI change the way we see ourselves?
Hmm.
And could it lead to a blurring of the lines between our physical and digital identities?
Whoa, now those are some big questions.
I know, right?
That is definitely a topic that deserves its own deep dive.
I think you're right. Unfortunately, we're running out of time for this episode, but I
Okay.
think that is a perfect place to pick up next time.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I can't wait to dive into that.
All right, everyone, stay tuned because we'll be back soon to explore the intersection of AI, identity, and the future of self-expression.
It's going to be a wild ride.
All right, so last time we were talking about AI and identity.
It's a big one.
Huge topic, right? I mean, think about it. The creator used their own selfie for those Midjourney memes.
Right, they did.
It really makes you think about how we see ourselves online.
Especially now with AI making it so easy to create all these different versions of ourselves.
It's true. Like we were talking about filters before.
Filters have definitely already had a huge impact on how we see ourselves online.
They have, but AI takes it even further.
Much further.
It's not just about tweaking your appearance anymore. AI can generate entirely new versions of you.
Right. Oh, it's wild.
It's almost like a digital mirror showing you infinite possibilities.
I love that. A digital mirror.
But it does make you wonder, is this good for us or is it kind of scary?
I think it could be both, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on the one hand, it could be really empowering.
Empowering how?
Well, imagine being able to experiment with different identities and personas.
Ooh, yeah.
See how it feels to look different or even be a different gender.
And you can do all of this without any real-world consequences.
Exactly. It could be really liberating, especially for people who feel like they don't fit in or who want to explore different aspects of themselves.
I can see that, like for people who are maybe struggling with their identity or who feel pressure to conform to certain expectations.
Exactly. But there's also the potential for things to go the other way.
Oh no, how so?
Well, one concern is that AI could make people even more insecure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you're constantly seeing these perfect AI-generated images of people.
It could make it even harder to feel good about yourself.
Absolutely. And it could lead to unrealistic beauty standards and even more pressure to conform.
Especially for younger people.
Oh, for sure. They're already bombarded with so many images and messages about how they should look.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is, and it makes me worry about the impact on mental health.
Me too.
It's like we need to be really careful about how we use these tools.
Yeah, like we need to make sure we're using them in a healthy and positive way.
Exactly. And that we're teaching young people how to think critically about the images they see online.
So important.
Because it's not just about the images themselves, it's about the messages they're sending.
The messages.
Yeah, like about what's beautiful, what's desirable, what's normal.
And those messages can be really powerful, especially when they're coming from AI, which people might perceive as more objective or authoritative.
Exactly. It's almost like we need a whole new set of digital literacy skills to navigate this AI-driven world.
I agree. But, beyond the psychological impact, there's also this question of authenticity.
Oh yeah, that's a big one too.
Like, if anyone can use AI to create a perfect version of themselves, what does that mean for our sense of identity?
It's a really interesting question. Like, are we becoming more comfortable with blurring the lines between our physical and digital selves?
Exactly. And how do we know what's real anymore?
It's almost like we're living in a simulation.
Yeah. And it's kind of scary, but also kind of
I
exciting.
know, right? It's like we're on the cusp of something completely new and uncharted.
And it's up to us to figure out how to navigate this new world.
And to make sure that we're using AI in a way that benefits humanity.
That's a great point. I think that's the key takeaway from all of this.
What's the takeaway?
That AI is a powerful tool,
Powerful indeed.
but it's up to us to use it wisely
Wisely and ethically.
and to make sure that it's used for good, not for evil.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, we covered so much today. AI and memes and identity and even a little bit of existentialism.
Yeah, that was quite the journey.
It was. But hey, that's what we do here on the Deep Dive. We like to get into the nitty-gritty,
A nitty-gritty.
explore all the angles.
And have some fun along the way.
Exactly. And we want to hear from you. Have you experimented with AI for creative purposes? Hit us up on social media and let us know your thoughts.
Until next time, stay curious.
And keep on diving deep.